Right, I'm going to catch up on a few comments on my videos over the last week or two that I've neglected to answer. I've just been in a bit of a foggy place, and although I've got all the things in the world that I want to say in reply to a lot of you, sometimes the energy just isn't there. Anyway, here goes. I'm not going to say what video and what have you. You'll probably remember making the comment anyway, but Winslow Burdett, beware of the flowers because I'm pretty sure they're going to get you. Yeah. Okay. Right, my good old friend Not Two T's informed me of some facts about bees. I won't go into reading the comment, but yeah, interesting stuff. Can I recommend to you, my friend, James Hetfield and Joe Rogan talking about bees? Watch it. It is fascinating. It is a lovely hour or so of them just nattering about bees. You wouldn't believe how interesting it is. Right, Blavany or Blavani, never sure. Doesn't really matter, does it? But he made some comments about the whole situation with people in queues and everything like that, and basically said that he's very respectful of other people's time and what they might be thinking, what they might have to do with the rest of their day with regards to queuing in shops, lining up in shops. And yeah, I appreciate your comments, and I do, you know, I appreciate your comments in general. You know, it's strange how we met, but it's not strange, but you know, we've become sort of good chums, as it were, good internet chums. But I just feel, you know, you have the confidence which I wish I had to just sort of do things at my own speed. But the trouble is, when I try and do things at my own speed these days, I work out how damaged I am at this point in time, and I fluster. You know, and I find myself walking away from the scene of the crime with a kind of arms full of shopping, and I'll deal with it outside the door of the shop. You know, putting my shopping down in fresh, fresh puddles of tramp's urine and pigeon crap and everything like that. You know, it's a terrible situation to be in. But yeah, I'm usually pretty good at exercising my rights, shall we say, but not at this point in time. But yeah, cheers for commenting, or just cheers for commenting generally. Wish you did more. Not Two T's said something along the lines of a blink of the eye and a flick of the wrist, a slap of the thigh and we won't be missed. Thanks for the flowers though. My pleasure with regards to the little videos I do of flowers and stuff like that. But yeah, life is short, isn't it? Life really is a blink of an eye thing. As I say regularly, you know, I quite often think 20 years ago I was doing this in my 20s, nearly my 30s. That's frightening. I was 30 20 years ago, and 20, you know, now I'm 49. 20 years time I'll be 70. You know, that's just too much. That's all happened too quickly. On the subject of me not getting involved in an argument with a drug dealer, Christian Thompson said, I often interfered in fights when I was younger, trying to stop them or help the victim, but I can be selfish. Also, a few years ago I saw two muscle dogs attacking a little bulldog, and I rushed home with my dog instead of helping, as I was afraid that my dog would get attacked also. Yeah, I'm with you completely on that one. You know, I would, and have done, even up to regularly, I will intervene and sort of give an opinion if somebody's being out of line. I'm the first. I'm not backward in coming forward, as they say, and I will intervene in situations. But the chances are, drug dealers, irate people, they need to protect themselves. Those people, and they generally it wouldn't be much of an assumption to probably think they probably got knives on them. I'm not getting involved in that. Sometimes we do have to think of ourselves. You know, we've got a responsibility to the victim in a situation that we happen across, you know, or chance upon. But there are some times where if it's not too direct, it's not too aggressive, we have to turn the other cheek, because we are of no use to anybody if we intervene in one situation for a complete stranger, lose our life, and then completely destroy the lives as a result of those around us, all the people that rely on us and all the people that love us. You know, it's a complicated situation, but cowardice doesn't come into it a lot of times. I think that the whole litigious nature of the way the world is at the moment, and the way that people protecting themselves are quite often viewed as the aggressor. You know, there's no sense in it, and it's making people ignore people even more on the streets when they need help. and that's a sad thing. You know, political correctness and people backing off from situations are intrinsically linked, and it's yet another shot in the foot for people doing the right thing. Seriously, fuck political correctness. On the same subject, David Smith said, I did some work on doors, so breaking up fights is a regular thing. Never seen many out of work time though, many fights outside of work time. I have also stopped to help people who have been passed out and left for dead by their mates a few times. I'd like to think that if we were in the situation for any reason, that someone would stop also for us. Yeah, there's a world of difference, you know, it's a noble thing that you've done there, but there is a world of difference between a sort of calculated risk of intervening in people who might be armed and picking up a corpse off the street or checking it's okay, you know. There's lots of things that I could go into that I feel strongly about and will act upon that would be seen as virtue signalling, so I'm not going to mention it. But it's a tough one, you know, but fair play for you for just doing the right thing or having the right heart that guides you to do the right thing. Not many people are like that. Fair play to you. In the Woods said on a video about how YouTube's alternatives are pretty ropey. With all the better tools we've got, you would have thought that YouTube would have been bettered, but far from it. It's so sad. Great topic. I wish I had something to say about it. Yeah, it's a real shame that all of the alternatives to YouTube are just so poor. You know, I know of people who watch this channel who've got BitChute and everything like that, but they're just. It's like when I was growing up, I was in a small village. Keep this brief. There was the New Flying Horse, the Tickled Trout, and the King's Head pubs. The Tickled Trout was next to a river, beautiful. The New Flying Horse was right by the university, beautiful gardens and everything, was very popular. The King's Head, no matter what they did to that place, it was a poison chalice. You couldn't change it. And that's what YouTube alternatives are like. They're all completely dead in the water before they even start. You could almost have a carbon copy of YouTube, but it just wouldn't work. It's not YouTube, you know. It's such a powerful brand, as well as such a amazingly slick interface and everything like that. Everybody's complained over the years when they change it. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of hay fever today, a bit itchy in the nose. But yeah, it says it all, you know. It's such a shame that the alternatives to YouTube are just so unviable. With alarming regularity, a viewer of mine called the Wise Monkey 8888 always just leaves bizarre cryptic things like, hey, I tell you what, I wish you wouldn't. And good old Troll the Soul Gavloff to finish it off. I was in a Wetherspoons this morning for my 9 AM beers. I saw so many people not using hand sanitizer as they walked in. I muttered under my breath and ordered another tray of beers. Trouble is, I don't know what part of anything you say ever is serious. You know, and you can be very thought-provoking, but I guess there's you're so cryptic that I can never tell who you're actually being cryptic towards. It's very confusing. Anyway, cheers.